Good morning, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today, March 17th, 2025. I want to do a little bit of a review of just what's going on day to day and talk about some of the things that are relevant to us. Not necessarily just getting caught up in a news cycle of reading news and gloom and doom or just kind of political gossip and stuff. It's not really good for you in the sense of just doing it for entertainment. But let's look at some news that's relevant and what we can do about it personally. So let's start with an article by Dan Lehman. This is U.S. delivers plane load of foreign gangbangers to Supermax prison in El Salvador. Now, this is going to be about, probably, I haven't read this yet, a bunch of people going over El Salvador. If you don't know about El Salvador, they've recently had some political realignment, and their people really like what they're doing, and the prison systems are very interesting. But let's read a little bit, and then we'll talk a little more. So, hundreds of foreign gang members were flown out of the U.S. to El Salvador, where they will be held in a maximum security prison under a new agreement struck between the two countries. On Sunday, Salvadorian President Nayib Bukele announced that a plane carrying 238 members of the Venezuelan gangs Tren de Agra had just landed in his nation. Additionally, 23 members of the gang MS-13 were brought to face justice in El Salvador, including two high-ranking ringleaders, Bukele said. And it goes on, and it wants to talk about the planes that are landing. And this is probably going to keep continuing. A lot of people who are in the United States from other countries getting deported. And let's talk about what does this mean to you and me. It keeps going, but really this is a trend here in the United States now of just the mass deportations and people leaving. So the government says it's something like 20 million people are here in the United States that are undocumented of some type. And, whether you agree with it, disagree with it, that really isn't the point of what I'm talking about here. What I want to talk about is if we keep having all these people leave the United States, it's going to change the demographics of this country, which in some ways will be good, in some ways will be bad. So first, let's get the bad news out of the way. The bad news would be things like if, it'll change the voting patterns. If you're on the left, you probably wouldn't like that. If you're on the right, you probably would like that. But honestly, I can't think of too many reasons it's bad, but that's just me. The things that are short term, you might call it bad, is there will be less workers. Now, if you're an opportunist, you'll think about that as a good thing. How would that be good for you? So if more people leave, there'll be less people buying stuff that you need day to day if you're an average consumer. So there won't be as much food that's bought. There won't be as much housing that's rented. There won't be as much gasoline that's used, which should bring down those costs, which is good for people who are here that day to day are just trying to feed their families and trying to, make their way in life. Now, other things about this is there will be a shortage of workers and a lot of work that these people have been doing. So you and I, we would be able to, if we wanted to go take up these jobs. And because there won't be that many of us that are left, there will be probably pay increases. So if you want to go work in one of these, wherever they're working, let's say it's a factory, Tyson Chicken, for example, they've been losing a lot of people. Supposedly they've been, having people picked up and brought back to, the border, things like, or to their countries. You may see opportunities in those places to get a job and end up, making more money. But what I want to talk about more long term is you would have a great opportunity to do things that involve labor and running businesses associated with that. So, for example, a lot of jobs like drywalling, if you wanted to do something that's a skill that takes time to learn and that would have a long-term benefit, you could start being a drywaller, and you could learn the skills needed, and there would be much less competition. And there's already so much work to do with it. And dry molding typically one of the lower paying trades, but if there's not as many people doing it, people are just gonna have to pay more to be able to have someone come in and do it. So something for you to think about. What can I do whenever you read the news? Do to benefit from this. Don't just get caught up in like negative. Think about what are the trends happening and what can I do to try and be better because of it and be prepared. How can I don't ever, this is what I don't like about our modern system is people say, okay, this is the thing that's prescribed to me. This is the thing that, people have told me to do, and I'm going to pick it and then I'm going to do it for the rest of my life. Now, you do want to build up skills and try to have some type of consistency in life, but sometimes you kind of have to adjust. What's the saying? You plan for the best or whatever, and then you make a pivot, or you kind of like, play it out as the options present themselves. You adjust. So that's what we need to do. Now, there's probably going to be a lot of changes in the country as we move forward as far as, I guess, politics. I really try not to pay attention to politics too much as something serious. Look at the actions of what people do, not so much as what they say. So these things that are happening now, it's a lot, are going to shift things, and it's going to catch some people off guard. So that's just a quick daily update. I'm going to see, we might do some more, read some more news or something. And the whole point, though, is to use it as learning material to try and focus on what we can do and take accountability and really try to prepare for life in a way that you're in control. And so that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we'll do another one later. Thanks, everyone.